from your home state of Louisiana, the Speaker of the House. I read today he wrote a foreword in a book that subscribes to conspiracy theories and homophobic insults. I thought, Mike Johnson wrote the foreword to the Bible? Do you think Mike Johnson can hold his party together now that he has taken the mantle?
Well, first of all, I don't think he can hold his party together. Second of all, you're exactly right. Mike Johnson and what he believes is one of the greatest threats we have today to the United States. I promise you, I know these people.
You're talking about Christian nationalism.
Absolutely. This is a bigger threat than Al-Qaeda.
Today on Asterisk Real Time with Bill Maher. Asterisk, a fiery political showdown unfolded as Democratic strategist. James Carville labeled House Speaker Mike Johnson's rise as not just surprising but downright dangerous, calling his brand of Christian nationalism a greater threat to America than even Al-Qaeda. Carville didn't hold back, arguing that Johnson's ideology isn't merely conservative, it's radical, challenging the very core of democracy, with the Supreme Court leaning in Johnson's favor and significant financial backing behind the movement. Carville warns that this isn't a temporary flare-up but a long game with high stakes, amid the nation's deep political divides. The question remains, is Christian nationalism truly a threat to democracy, or is Carville sounding yet another partisan alarm?
To this country. Let me tell you something. They have Speaker of the House. They got probably at least 2 Supreme Court justices, maybe more. Right? Don't kid yourself. And people in the press have no idea who this guy is, how he was formed, what the threat is, and this is a fundamental threat to the United States. It is a fundamental. They don't believe in the Constitution. They'll tell you that. Mike Johnson himself says, what is democracy but 2 wolves and a lamb having lunch? That's what they really, really, really believe. And to say, oh, come on, man, that's just some crazy shit. No. They believe that, and they're coming, and they've been doing it forever. They're funded. They're relentless. And, they probably won't win for a while, but they might. No, and if they do, the whole country blows a gasket.
You just have to look at that painting. I think it's a Kincaid painting that a lot of them like, where Jesus is handing the Constitution to Thomas Jefferson. I mean, if you could look at that and go, that's the way it probably happened.
I know it.
That wasn't a photo?
That is.
Bill didn't hold back when discussing House Speaker Mike Johnson, calling his version of Christian nationalism one of the gravest threats facing the U.S. even greater, in Carville's view, than groups like Al-Qaeda. He framed Johnson's rise not as an isolated case but as part of a broader, well-funded, and organized movement openly hostile to traditional democracy, pushing a religious agenda that seeks to replace the Constitution with biblical law. With allies on the Supreme Court and deep influence within the GOP, Carville warns that this ideology poses a serious risk to America's democratic foundation, and if left unchecked, could radically transform the country. Whether one sees this as a legitimate warning or political fearmonger, there's no denying that Christian nationalism has moved from the shadows to a central position in American power.
Anti-immigration Dutch politician Geert Wilders. I remember interviewing him for Religulous way back in 2007. A warning to the liberals in America that they need to take our immigration crisis more seriously. So if you don't follow the story, Geert Wilders, he's been running forever in Holland. Of course, the New York Times calls him a far rightist. They call all these people, Meloni in Italy is another one. Viktor Orban is kind of a far rightist in Hungary. But not, I think some of them are just, Brexit in England was part of this. People are feeling they are not welcome almost in their own home because of the kind of immigration that these people are fighting against. So
most of these people are not far right by any way that we would think of far right, in that they're racist. I actually met with Orban in Budapest, and I talked to him for a little while, and all he kept saying was, I love Hungary. That's all. I love my people. I love my country. That's it. I don't know what accent that was, but that basically.
That's a dead-on impression of
something.
Can you do his walk?
There's a little bit of a waddle, but all of these guys, Geert Wilders, he wants Holland to be for the Dutch, right? That's what he wants. When we see that's racist, that's what they would tell you, right? No. Wait, you meant that literally? Or
No. I don't know what we're talking about, but I was just going to say Dutch for the Dutch. I would amend that if it was me. Dutch values.
No, Dutch values,
You don't have
of
to be
course.
actually Dutch. You don't have to be white. That's what I think is great about America. It's
course.
the idea. As long as you subscribe to our ideas, which again, to your point and what I was saying at the end of the show, that we're not a Christian nation, that's not what it is a country where we have the First Amendment, then everybody should be welcome.
No, of course, it's not about skin color, but it is about culture. So what happens is
culture
all
matters.
of these people, whether they're in France or Belgium or any of the countries that you just mentioned, they're realizing, wow, we've got literally millions of people in our borders that are chanting for genocide and gas the Jews and the rest of it. And by the way, it doesn't stop with the Jews, right? I mean, they were at the Christmas tree in Times Square yesterday or 2 days ago. So people are realizing that, and they're looking for anybody, and for some reason they always come with crazy hair, that will fix some of this stuff.
The rise of nationalist leaders like Geert Wilders in the Netherlands reflects more than just a political trend. It's a response to public frustration over immigration policies spiraling out of control across Europe. From Italy's Giorgia Meloni to Hungary's Viktor Orban, a growing number of leaders are tapping into citizens' anger at governments they feel have abandoned them. Dave Rubin pushes back against the media's far-right label, arguing these figures aren't extremists but defenders of culture, standing against policies that have weakened national identity and fueled social unrest. According to Rubin, the surge isn't about racism or xenophobia but about citizens demanding safety, stability, and leadership that prioritizes their needs. James Carville, however, sees it differently, acknowledging the outrage but framing it as a reaction to chaos, failed integration, and negligent governments. People turn to anyone promising control when borders are open, services strained, and leaders ignore the mess. The question remains, is this nationalist wave a necessary course correction, or a dangerous slide toward division and authoritarianism? One thing is certain, Europe's old guard is scrambling to keep up.
The election in the Netherlands, is that somewhat
A harbinger for
Do you want a short, truthful answer? Or
Yes.
Yes. It does. Okay? It does.
Yeah.
Because people, but understand this, people like immigrants. Okay?
Right.
What they don't like is disorder. And when you become the disorder party, whatever it is, you pay a price. Now, one of the reasons that we're having this problem, this is what 3.6% unemployment does for you. You think we're the only people that know that? Or you think, and by the way, somebody, if you got a woman that lives in Honduras, and she walks with a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old to the Mexican border and wants to come in this country, come on in, lady. You're a motivated person. We need you. Period.
No,
Okay.
you can't come.
Yeah,
we have a
yeah,
border. We have a border. We have a country. You either have a country or you don't.
Every border had refugees. Every border has asylum.
Yeah, but you can't just let them walk
I'm
in.
sorry.
That's what the issue is.
I'm for somebody walks with 2 kids 600 miles to come in this country. I got a job for you, lady. Come see me.
All right.
Find me one roofer in Florida that was born in the United States.
Single quotes are your take on this heated debate. Do leaders like Geert Wilders truly address legitimate public concerns, or does their rise signal a worrying drift toward extremism? And how do you see James Carville's argument? Is the core issue really immigration, or the broader chaos surrounding it? Share your thoughts in the comments and keep the conversation going. If you found this breakdown useful, give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more incisive takes on the political stories that matter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.